Caller, you live on the air. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Hi, my name's Raymond.
Welcome.
I got a bunch of questions, but I'm just going to ask one to be polite.
Very nice. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Okay. So, I know that, like, I've heard Rabbi talk several times about how animals don't have souls, and I've I've heard like people talk about Kabbalah, where the idea is that in reincarnation, that like a human soul can be reincarnated as an animal. And so like if an animal has a human soul, if it's a reincarnation of a human soul, then how do animals not have human souls if they're a reincarnation?
I want to keep you on the phone. I want to keep you on the phone for a moment. So I'm going to say two things about that. I'm not sure I believe that. Okay, I'm being straight with you, and I'm not an expert on it because I think more is made of this than it should be. And I am certainly not an expert on this kind of stuff, and I'm not persuaded by it. I'm not saying it's not possible and it's not true. I just don't find it persuasive, but I find that now the reincarnation, a Gilgul neshama said a soul can come back. That I can explain to you, and I've discussed many times, where someone dies prematurely. For example, there was a terrible catastrophe in southern Florida where a condominium, half of a building collapsed. Children died. Hashem Yirachim. Those people died and they were cut off too early. They just discovered a 7-year-old little girl. She wasn't old enough to righteous or not righteous, the daughter of a firefighter. So her soul has to come back to make a choice. So that I can tell you. But I want to be very clear at the outset. There are people who are bigger experts on this than me, and if I'm not an expert, I don't discuss it, and I'm not really persuaded by the whole thing. I'm not.
Okay.
So you're welcome. If you want to ask another question that's just not related to this, I'll be glad to answer it, but I don't want to answer questions that I'm not an expert in.